Heating and air conditioning, HVAC, A coil and condenser. Topic, low pressure and high pressure lines. The low pressure line, this is the A coil here. This is the condenser. This would be considered a split unit. This particular unit would be the A coil part would be inside of the air handler, on top of the air handler, on the side or something. And this actually is where the refrigerant would boil. So then it would exit the A coil and head towards the condenser. So, and then once it goes through the condenser, the compressor, it's got a compressor in here, and then the compressor compresses it. It goes from a low pressure vapor to a high pressure vapor, and then to a liquid, and then it goes back to the unit itself. But question, we have here we have a low pressure line here. The question one does not, a situation one would like to try to avoid is, okay, when this is coming from the A coil. Once this comes from the A coil and goes in this direction, goes over here, feeds the compressor. So, okay, this is vapor. When it exits the A coil, it's at perhaps about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere thereabouts. By the time it reaches the compressor, it may be somewhere there about 50 to 55, perhaps. It's not specific, but question here. This is the low pressure line. This is the high pressure line. As one can see the direction of the flow. The refrigerant comes in here, goes in this direction, goes towards the outside, towards the condenser outside. Now, what one needs to avoid here is this needs to be vapor, sort of like it's boiled off in here. You've gone from you flashed it from here to the boiling point, then you come out vapor. Because when one comes to this condenser, when one comes to this side and comes to the condenser here, the condenser does not need liquid refrigerant. It only needs to compress vapor. If you put liquid, if you, and I'm not saying you, but if the system actually gets liquid in the condenser, in the compressor, it can actually slug the compressor and actually shorten the life expectancy, or perhaps worse, deep six the compressor. So the superheat and the subcooling needs to be properly calibrated, make sure no leaks is there. So sometimes you kind of wonder and you say, well, is it worth paying somebody a fee to come inspect your system and to make sure everything once or twice a year, just as routine maintenance? I'm still, the jury's still out with me on that, on the fee. But notwithstanding, it may not hurt to keep the system in a working order to make sure the system is working, as long as people are not gouging you for, and they're just doing the maintenance and straight up and honest with you. But notwithstanding, okay, when we come out of here, we're vapor. We come out of here, we're vapor. It compresses it. It goes down here. The fan on top pulls the air through here. Once the air is pulled through here, this high pressure vapor begins to turn into a liquid, goes into a liquid, goes out, goes into a TXV or a piston system, and then it begins to boil here, and it's a 360 degree cycle. So just think of it as 360 degrees. But in this suction line, this low pressure line, this big line, there needs to be liquid refrigerant does not need to be traveling through this and into the compressor. So no liquid refrigerant into the compressor. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.